And good evening, everybody, and welcome to Hayesville, Kansas, and Campus Gold Baseball. I'm Todd Hook, along with Peyton and Zach on the controls. We are going live today. Game 2 of the series with Derby. Derby took the first one 15-9. Panthers now 8-4. Here's how they will go. First three will be Rojas, Rudy, and Shelton. We'll get to the rest of them in just a moment. Quick turnaround here, second game of the doubleheader. Get to the defense in just a moment. The first pitch from Warkins, up and away. Ball one. Campus 5-7, Derby 8-4. Kind of a sloppy game on both sides in terms of taking care of the baseball in game one. 2 balls, 3-1. 3 balls and a strike to Rojas. He had a pretty good game one. 3 hits, including a homer. Three balls and a strike to Rojas. He is a junior. And that missed low and away. A leadoff walk by Warkins. Not a good start for the Colts. Here's how the Panthers will go. Rojas lead it off. Colton Rudy over at third base. Caden Shelton will be in center field. Braden Horn do the catching. Rowan Bowden will be the designated hitter. Rowan Foster at second base. Sweat in right field. Pryor over at third base. And Pierce at short. Colton Rudy lifts the first one he sees to left field. And Johnson right there to haul it in for out number 1. So here's Cade Sheldon. Center fielder tonight. Two walks and a hit by pitch. He was hitless. Did reach on a fielder's choice once. And the first one from Warkins in there for a call strike. Defensively for the Colts, left to right in the outfield, Johnson, Buller, and Spangler. Schroeder over at third base, Wiseman at short. Sam Johnson second base, Volkemore at first, and Clements behind the dish. Get to Hayden Warkins, right-hander. We'll get to his numbers in just a moment. Warkins making his 4th appearance of the season on the mound. 14 1/3 innings of work. He is 0-1. He's given up 11 hits, 8 runs, 6 of which were earned. 18 strikeouts and only 8 walks. And a 2.93 ERA. So 3-1 now to Cade Shelton. Runner at first base and 1 out. That misses wide. So a walk to Shelton. Down to second is Caden Rojas. 2 walks in the evening. Not the start that the Colts wanted. Here is Braden Horn. And the first pitch to Horn. Swung on and missed. Strike 1. Horn did not play in game 1. And the 0-1. In there to Nice for a call strike. 0-2. This is game number 12 for Horn, 364 on the season. A couple of hits, does have a couple of homers. That is swung on and fouled straight back. Count remains 0-2. Did speak with him between games. He says he's committed to Cali next year. Horn doing the catching. Tall, stocky, right-handed hitter. And that one's in the dirt. Clements made that look easy. Ball and 2 strikes, 1 out. Game 2. Colts dropped the first one, 15-9. Colts led it for a couple of innings, had their chances. And the 1-2 took a little off, just got a piece of it. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Don't forget our corporate sponsors, 060 Technology Solutions and Farm Bureau Financial Services. C. Gordon Ritholler. Ball and 2 strikes, Braden Horn. Panthers 8-4. Head coach Todd Olmstead and the 1-2 in the dirt. That'll squirt away just far enough for everybody to move up. That'll be a wild pitch. Clements did everything he could to keep it handy, but just squirted away. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out for Braden Horn. Did not play in game 1. And that is upstairs. That'll go to the screen, and a run will score. So Rojas will score, and Derby leads it 1-0. Looked like that Workins may have been crossed up. Clements didn't even get leather on it. Count goes to 3-2. Down to third is Shelton. And that pitch is spoiled, foul. So a good AB for Braden Horn. Going to make Workins work for it. Three balls, 2 strikes, runner at third base, 1 out. Top of the first. Off-speed pitch stays up. And the third walk issued to the ball game by Workins. So runners at the corner. So runners at the corner for Roman Bowden, designated hitter tonight. He was DH in game 1. Was 1 for 4. Bowden, a senior, $172 at the start of the day. First and third. And a pitch right down the middle for a call strike. Nice fastball there from Workins. A 1 popped up right side. Spangler coming in, fighting the wind and the sun. The runner tags. Here's the play. Good throw, not in time. Boy, Spangler put it right on the money, but Shelton just too fast. And 2-0 Panthers. So credit Bowden with an RBI. 2 outs in the inning. And that'll bring up the second baseman, the freshman, Rowan Foster. One for 6 in game 1. And an RBI. Takes one low. Ball 1. Two outs in the inning, top of the first. 2-0 Derby. And a pitch. That's in the dirt, smothered by Clements. Picks it up, throws to second. And the runner is tagged out. So Sam Johnson able to stay with it, apply the tag, and the Panthers are out of business here in the top of the first, but they get two. We go to the bottom of the first. 2-0 Derby. We'll be back. And welcome back. We go to the bottom of the first. Here's how the Colts will go. They dropped game one. They dropped to 5-7 on the season. Harley Buller will lead it off and play center field. Hagan Warkins will be the pitcher and hit second. Hitting third and playing first base will be Jacob Vogelmore. Grady Clements will do the catching and hit in the cleanup spot. Hitting fifth, Eric Spangler. He will be in right field. Brody Johnson will play left field and hit sixth. Lucas White will be the designated hitter and hits seventh. Hitting eighth, Aiden Wiseman. He will be at shortstop, and rounding out the order at third base is Camden Schroeder. Again, that is Buller, Warkins, Vogelmore, Clements, Spangler, Johnson, White, Wiseman, and Schroeder. Defensively for Derby, left to right in the outfield, Rowhouse, Shelton, and Sweat. Pryor over at third base, Pierce at short, Foster second base, Rudy over at first, Horn doing the catching, and on the mound, left-hander, who the heck is that? Andrew Miller. And the first one to Buller. In there for a called strike. Buller 2 for 5 in game one. Center fielder tonight, that is lifted left side. That'll be the third baseman Pryor. He's under it. 4 out, number 1.
Batting next to the Colts, number 28, Hagan Warkins.
So that'll bring up the pitcher, Hagan Warkins. One for 2 with a walk and a hit by pitch, singled in the first. So he will step in and get his first look at Miller. And the first one catches the inside corner, strike one. 0-1. 1 out, nobody on, bottom of the first. 2-0 Derby. And the 0-1, that is down the left field line, foul. That was in on his hands. He pulled his hands in a bit and still got good wood on it. Big, strong kid. Pulled it down the line, but just foul. That had 3 written all over it. Warkins over 400 for the season. Coming into game one. 0-2. And time is called. Very, very windy day. And that's in the dirt. 1-2. 79 degrees. Wind out of the south at 22. Gusting to 130. That is blowing out to left. First pitch weather brought to you by hookbats.com. Count goes to 2-2 to Warkins. And it's fouled away. Too close to take. Warkins fouled it off. Don't forget our corporate sponsors, Golden Plains Credit Union and Hayesville Chamber of Commerce. 2-2. And here it is. Off-speed pitch in there for a called strike. That was a nice backdoor slider. Warkins will watch it, and there's 2 away.
Number 10, Jacob Voldemort.
So that'll bring up the first baseman, Jacob Volkamore. Did not collect a hit in game 1, so he's due. .394 at the start of the day. And the pitch, fastball at the knees, strike 1. Colts 5-7, coached by first-year head coach Colton Flax, 2013 graduate of Campus High School. 0-1, down the right field line, foul. Pretty good piece of hitting there by Jake. Hit it right where it was pitched. Just foul. (0-2). 2 outs, nobody on. And the fastball misses away. Pretty good 0-2 pitch. Off the plate. Ball and 2 strikes. And the off-speed pitch misses inside. Count 2-2 to Volkamore. Two. And inside that hit him. So a 2-out hit by pitch. And Volkamore is aboard. So Horn going to go out and talk to Miller.
Now batting for the Colts, number 17, Grady Clements.
That'll bring up the catcher, Grady Clements. He hit one a country mile in game 1, but foul. 1 for 4 on the afternoon. And the first one in there at the knee, strike 1. Jake and Peyton at the controls tonight, taking care of business behind the scenes. Channel 060, news from people you know. That missed inside. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Popped up right side. That'll be Rudy drifting into fair territory. He will haul it in, and that'll do it for the Colts. They will strand 1. We have played 1, 2-0 Derby. We'll be back. And welcome back. Top of the second we go. 2-0 Derby. 6, 7, and 8 scheduled for the Panthers. Foster, Sweat, and Pryor scheduled. Workins out for inning number 2. Gave up a couple of runs, 3 walks in inning number 1. And the first one ripped to the first baseman. Vogelmore up with it, and he will win the race to first base. And Foster is retired. Vogelmore, a good job staying down on that. It would have been easy to pick up on that, but stayed with it. Here is Lane Sweat, right fielder today. And the first one in there for a strike. Yeah. And the 0-1. High and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. Sweat 2 for 4 in game 1. And the pitch. Low and away, took a little off. Sweat, a senior, a $158 coming in. One ball and 2 strikes. Swung on and missed, and he got him. Nice fastball from Workins, 2 away. First strikeout of the ball game for Hagen Workins.
Panthers, number 15, Calvin Pryor.
So that'll bring up Calvin Pryor with 2 outs and nobody on. Did not play in game 1. And a nice fastball catches the outside corner, strike 1. This is game number 9 for Pryor, hitting an even .400. And the 0-1 popped out of play right side. No balls, 2 strikes. Pryor, a 5'8" sophomore. And off-speed pitch swung through and missed. And that'll do it for the Panthers. They go in order. We played 1.5. 2-0 Derby. We'll be back.
Number 3, Eric Spangler.
And welcome back. We go to the bottom of the second. 2-0 Derby. I'm told by our technical folks we might have some buffering, so be patient with us. 5, 6, and 7 for the Colts. Spangler, Johnson, and White. Miller out for inning number 2 after facing 4 Colts in the first. First one outside, ball 1. One-oh. Fastball misses away. 2 balls, no strikes. Andrew Miller, a senior. And that one catches the outside corner. It's now 2-1. Two balls and a strike, nobody out. Home half of the second. 2-0 Derby. And that hit him. So Spangler
Batting for the Colts, number 11, Brody
will wear
Johnson.
that one to first base, and it'll be Brody Johnson. Johnson hitless in game 1. He was 0 for 2 with a walk and a hit by pitch. And the pitch swung on, slow roller to first. And Rudy up with it. He'll take it himself. And down to second base is Spangler. One out runner at second. Here's Lucas White.
Now batting for the Colts, number 21, Lucas White.
Designated hitter of this game. Hitless in game 1, 0 for 4. Nice numbers coming into the day, but hitless in his last 4 tries, so you got to think he's due. Runner at second base. That is down the right field line. That'll get out of play. No balls and a strike. And time is called. So Miller taking a little bit too much time. White going to step out and start over. And that is lifted into right field, shallow right. Everybody giving chase. That will drop in there for a base hit. Spangler had to hold up to make sure it wasn't caught. But White collects his first base hit of the day.
Number 2, Hayden Wiseman.
And it's first and third with 1 out. Derby leads it 2-0. Here's the shortstop, Aiden Wiseman. Did a little bit of time on the mound to start things off in the game 1. And the first one misses away, ball 1. So Wiseman still looking for that first base hit of the season. Playing shortstop today. And a throw over. Back in there is Lucas White. Looks like a balk is called. And everybody will move up 90 feet on the play. And that will put the Colts on the board. And it's a 2-1 ball game. So a balk on Andrew Miller. 1-0. And in the dirt. 2 balls, no strikes. And that's low and away, or low and in. So 3 quickly out of the zone to Aiden Wiseman. Colts on the road at Mays South on the 21st. Both JV and varsity, 4-6. Our next home game and our next broadcast will be May the 5th versus Newton. Doubleheader starting at 4 o'clock. 3-1. That's popped up right side, and that'll get out of play. 3-2 to Wiseman.
I would laugh so hard.
3-2. Fouled away right side. Good battle by Wiseman. Count as full. One out runner at second base. 2-1 in favor of Derby. That's foul back. Wiseman hanging in there. And the 3-2. Miller turns and throws to second base. Chases White back. Plenty of time. Three balls, two strikes. And bouncing ball right side. Foster up with it over to first base in time. Out number 2. White into third.
Now batting for the Colts. Number 1, Camden Schroeder.
And that'll bring up the third baseman, Camden Schroeder, with 2 away. Colts had first and third, and a balk was called, and Spangler scored. And it's a 2-1 ball game. Schroeder 1 for 4 in game 1. And he takes the ball. "1-0. That is sprayed down the line. Foul right side. Good inside out swing by Camden Schroeder. Wind continues to blow very hard out of the south. That's out to left field. 1-1. High hopper over the head of the pitcher. Charging is Pierce. Throwing on the run over to first. He'll get him. And that'll do it for the Colts. They get one and strand one. And after 2-1 Derby, we'll be back. And welcome back. We go to the top of the third. Colts get one. They now trail it 2-1. 9-1-2 for the Panthers. Pierce, Rojas, and Rudy. First one to Pierce in there for strike one. And one ball and one strike now. And a 1-1. Tried to hold up. Workins loses his footing on the mound. Must be some ice out there. Very windy today, folks. Three balls and a strike to Pierce. Over 3 with a hit by pitch in game one. And in there, he will watch it. So Pierce takes strike 3. And one out in the inning.
Now batting for the Panthers, number 1, Cade Rojas.
Third strikeout of the game for Warkins. Top of the order, here's Rojas. Walked and scored in the first. Had a big bomb in game one. Hit it over 63rd Street. That misses wide. Ball one. Rojas was a double away from hitting for the cycle in game one. And a 1-0. Slow roller to Wiseman. He's up with it over to first in the dirt. Dug out nicely by Vogelmore. That was a tough hop, an in-betweener. But he digs it and 2 away.
Colton Rudy.
2 down, here's Colton Rudy. And the first pitch to Rudy. That is sprayed foul left side out of play. Rudy credited with a triple in the 5th in game one. He was 1 for 5 in the game. Well, actually 1 for 4 with a walk. And on the hands through the right side for a base hit. Just strong enough to muscle it through between the first baseman and the second baseman. Rudy is aboard. He's 1 for 2 in game 2. And here's Cade Shelton. Walked and scored in the first. 2 walks and a hit by pitch. In game 1, he was 0 for 2. First pitch swinging, popped up center field. Buller back into his left. He will get it, and that'll do it for the Panthers. They will strand 1. We go to the bottom of the third, 2-1 Derby. We'll be back. And welcome back. Home half of the third we go 2-1 in favor of Derby. Top of the order for the Colts, 1, 2, and 3. Buller, Warkins, and Vogelmore expected. Buller takes strike one on the outer half. 0 for 1 in game 2. And he's quickly behind in the count 0 and 2. 2 hits in game 1. 3:14 at the start of the day. And that's in the dirt. 1 and 2. Miller out for inning number 3. Faced 4 hitters in the first and 5 in the second, giving up 1 run on a balk. 1 and 2. That's fouled away. 2 strikes, you got to protect. That's exactly what he did. One, two. That is way outside. I think he threw that one at the bull. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two. That is popped up and out of play. Everybody having a hard time keeping their hats on today. Wind gusting to 35 mile an hour, blowing out to left. 2-2. Off-speed pitch misses away, and it's full. Three balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Bottom of the third. That is into left field. Rojas ranging to his left, and he'll get it for out number 1. Buller hit it well, but I think he got it a little bit in on his hands. And there's 1 away.
Next for the Colts, number 28, Hagen Warkins.
And with 1 out, here's the pitcher, Hagen Warkins. Strikeout victim in the first. He's 0 for 1. Shortstop in game 1 did collect 1 hit in game 1. He was 1 for 2. Couple of a walk and a hit by pitch. First one in the dirt, ball 1. One 0. High and away. Warkins can pretty much play every position. And the 1-1 is popped up. Horn going to have a look at it, but out of play. Ball and 2 strikes to Warkins. Over 400 at the start of the day. 1-2. That is up the middle for a base hit. Off-speed pitch stayed up. Warkins drove it right where it came from, and he's aboard.
Colts, number 10, Jacob Vogelmore.
1 out. Warkins at first base. And here's Jacob Vogelmore. Was hit by a pitch in the first. First baseman today. And Miller will step off and start over. And the pitch just a bit outside. It's 1-0. Don't forget today's sponsor, Hayesville Chamber of Commerce and Hayesville Family Eye Care. Go see Dr. Haas. That is into right field. Coming hard is Sweat. He will lay out and haul it in. Good play by Sweat in right field. Good jump. Ball was sinking fast, but able to come up with it. 2 away.
Number 17, Grady Clements.
So Vogelmore robbed by Sweat in right field. That'll bring up Grady Clements. 2 outs, runner at first base. Bottom of the third. 2-1 Derby. And the pitch ripped to the third baseman. Pryor up with it on 1 hop. Ball was absolutely scalded over to first in time, and that'll do it. Campus will strand 1. We've played 3. Still 2-1 Derby. We'll be back. And we go to the fourth, 2-1 Derby. 4, 5, and 6 scheduled for the Panthers. It'll be Horn, Bowden, and Foster. Hagen Workins out for inning number 4. Gave up a couple of runs in the first. Got the Panthers in order in the second. And faced 4 hitters in the third. So he is settled in nicely. Lights are on here at Vulcan Field. Wind still howling out to left field. Horn walked in the first. No balls and a strike. Horn doing the catching in game 2. Fastball in there at the knees. And it's 1-1. 0-2. Correction. No balls, 2 strikes. And the 0-2, high and away. It's 1-2. And a 1-2 just missed low. Workins wanted it. 2-2. And a 2-2 driven to center. Buller in a few steps. He will get it, and that'll be all for Braden Horn, and 1 away. That'll bring up Roman Bowden. Flew out in the first, was credited with an RBI. Flew out to right field. Designated hitter here in game 2. In there for a call strike. Collected 1 hit in game number 1. And the 0-1. In there at the knees. Quickly 0-2. Warken's doing a good job of pounding the zone, and he's been ahead of most hitters. Strike 1, very most important. 0-2. Took a little off. That floated away, and it's 1-2. One and two. Off speed pitch, he'll watch it. And that is strike 3. Bowden will take a seat, 2 away. 2 outs in the inning. Here is Rowan Foster, second baseman.
Number 11, Rowan Foster.
Bounced out to the row for 1. Collected one hit in game number 1. Fastball catches the outside corner. Pretty pitch from Warkins. Wasn't much he could. Foster, a freshman, second baseman. Getting into the lineup as a freshman means that he will have plenty of opportunities. Clement's out to talk about it. Next break we'll have a little This Day in Baseball history. We'll come up with something good. No balls and a strike to Foster. Quick chat from Clements, and Warkins is ready to go. That is a soft liner that will get up the middle for a base hit. So Foster fooled a bit on the pitch, able to stay back long enough to poke it into center field for a 2-out base hit.
Next to the Panthers, number 2, Lane Sweat.
And that'll bring up the right fielder, Lane Sweat. He's 0 for 1. Strikeout victim in the second. 2 outs in the inning. And the first one in there for a call strike. Pretty good ball to strike ratio from Hagen Warkins. Throw over. Pretty good shot. Put it right on the money, but Foster back in there. Oh, 1. That is popped foul out of play. No balls, 2 strikes to Sweat. Recorded a really good diving play in the last half inning. Robbed Jacob Volgamore of a base hit. 0-2. Down the right field line. Everybody giving chase. That will fall in there. Any other time that's probably foul, but wind blew it back. Base hit for Sweat, his first of the ball game. Over to third on the play is Foster.
Right next to the Panthers, number 15, Calvin Pryor.
So here is the third baseman, Calvin Pryor. Strikeout victim in the second. He's 0 for 1. Two outs in the inning. Runners at the corners. Little number foul. 0-1. No balls and a strike. Runner goes. And Sweat will steal it without a throw. Second and third now. 2 outs. A little nubber foul. Good off-speed pitch there from Workins. Derby took game 1 15-9. It was closer than that, believe me. 0-2, fouled away. Nice battle by Calvin Pryor. And swung on, missed. Got him. Fooled on the pitch. And Pryor will take a seat, and that'll do it. Panthers leave a couple. We played 3.5, and it's still 2-1 in favor of Derby. We'll be back. And we go to the home half of the fourth, 2-1 Derby. 5, 6, and 7 scheduled for the Colts. It'll be Spangler, Johnson, and White. Miller out for inning number 4. He's given up 1 run on a couple of hits. First pitch to Spangler is to the left side, booted by the shortstop Pierce. That'll be an error.
Now batting for the Colts, number 11, Brody Johnson.
Colts have the leadoff man aboard here in the fourth. Tying run is available. That'll bring up Brody Johnson. Hitless today, 0 for 1 in game 2. Playing left field, good lead over there by Eric Spangler. And Miller, couple of looks, he will step off and chase him back. Probably we'll see the Colts do a little bit of running here. Try to make something happen. Shows bunt and snap throw down to first, not in time. Throw a little bit offline. If it's a better throw, he probably gets it. And I think probably Rudy will look at that and let that ball travel a little bit more so he can make that play. Shows bunt. Back to the pitcher. Bunt is successful. So Johnson with the sacrifice. Down to second is Spangler.
Now batting for the Colts, number 21, Lucas White.
So the tying run now at second base. That'll bring up the designated hitter, Lucas White. 1 for 1, singled in the second. Wind continues to blow very hard. It's not let up one bit. And the first pitch swung on and missed. Took a little bit off, and Lucas way out ahead of it. 0-1. And the 0-1 shows bunt, gets it down. Fielded by the pitcher over to first, not in time. I'm going to say Rudy pulled his foot. That bunt was perfectly
Number 2, Aiden Wiseman.
placed. I'm sure that will go as a base hit. Over to third is Spangler. Colts with runners at the corners with one out. Small ball, the best medicine for the Colts here in the fourth. Here's Wiseman. And swung on and missed. Strike one. Don't forget our corporate sponsors, Hayesville Rec and Hayesville Saddle Club. And the 0-1 misses inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 out in the inning. Colts with runners at the corners. We're in the bottom of the fourth. One. And Miller's going to step off and start over. Colts base runners have been in his head just a little bit. 1-1. That's outside. 2 balls and a strike. And that is into right field, but Sweat had him played perfectly. Makes the catch. And the throw to the plate in time. So a nice throw from Sweat. Put it right on the money. Spangler trying to tag and score. And he is out at the plate. So that will do it for the Colts. We've played 4. 2-1 Derby. We'll be back. And welcome back.
Number 3, Ryan.
Colts strand a couple in the bottom of the fourth. Squander a great opportunity. We go to the fifth. It'll be 9-1-2 for the Panthers. They lead it 2-1. It'll be Pierce, Rojas, and Rudy. Workins out for inning number 5. Shows no sign of tiring. And the first one in there for a called strike. Pierce 0 for 1 here in game 2. Strikeout victim in the third. 4 strikeouts so far on the evening for Hagen Warkins. Correction, that's 5. My apologies. 5 strikeouts for Warkins. And a 1-1. And a slider catches the outside corner. 1-2. Ball and 2 strikes. Just upstairs. Good take. Don't forget our corporate sponsors, Pritchard Animal Hospital and Valley State Bank. Drop by and say thanks. 2-2. Little nubber foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody on, nobody out. Top of 5. 2-1 Derby. Colts drop game 1, 15-9. 2-2. And squirted foul again. Warkins is ready. That is squirted out of play, foul. Two. Popped up and to get out of play. Warkins struggled with command a little bit in the first inning, walking 3, but since then he has righted the ship and settled in nicely. 2-2. Off-speed pitch just fouled away. So a nice battle from the 9-hole man, Ryan Pierce. Pierce 0 for 3 in game 1. 2-2. And just missed upstairs. Pretty good 2-2 pitch. Tough to lay off that one, but upstairs. And the count is full. And a 2 full count is into center. Ranging to his right is Buller. He will haul it in, and there's 1 away.
Batting next for the Panthers, number 1, Caden Rojas.
Top of the order, here's Caden Rojas. 0 for 1 with a walk. Walked and scored in the first. 3 hits in game 1, including a triple and 1 over 63rd Street. Wind continues to howl here in Hayesville. 3-2. That is just a bit outside. Correction, that is 1-0. I'm okay back here. 1-0 into center. Buller initially started back. He's coming in, and it will drop. A lot of room to cover out there in center field. He did it right. First step's a drop step. Just hard to cover that much territory. Rojas collected his first base hit of game 2. That'll bring up Colton Rudy. First baseman, 1 for 2, singled in the third. He will step in from the left side. Not a big lead over there by Rojas. That is fouled away left side. No balls and a strike. And a pitch. And that floats outside. Workins lost his hat. 1-1. It might be too windy for me to drive home. I don't know. We'll see what happens when we leave here. Shouldn't be driving after dark. Ask my wife. 1-1. Little Nubber out front. That'll get by Workins. Wiseman charging, not in time. So one of those seeing eye dog ground balls that just got by the pitcher Workins, and Wiseman had no chance. That'll be a base hit for Rudy, his second of game number 2. So first and second, one out for the Panthers.
Panthers, number 5, Cade Sheldon.
So here's Cade Shelton. 0 for 1 with a walk. Walked in the first and scored. And the first pitch to him, fouled away. This might be one of those days to go hatless. Just saying. As a pitcher, you get to worrying about your hat flying off, and it screws up your timing. Bouncing ball, left side, second for 1. That's all they'll get. Ball was not hit sharply enough to turn 2. Shelton aboard on the fielder's choice. Rudy is erased.
Panthers, number 7, Braden Horn.
So 2 down. Here's the catcher, Braden Horn. 0 for 1 with a walk. Flew out in the 4th. First pitch to Horn. Runner goes. Throw down. Not in time. Throw was a little bit to the side, to the first base side. That was a good jump by Shelton. Clements did everything he could. That will be a stolen base. Second and third. That is fouled away on the right side. Vogelmore given choice, but runs out of room. May the 5th will be our next broadcast. It'll be Newton in town for 2. Colts on the road this Friday. One-0. Foul straight back. 1-2. One-two. Popped up right side. Vogelmore giving chase. And he will stay with it and make the catch in foul ground. And that'll do it for the Panthers. They will strand a couple. And we go to the bottom of the 5th. 2-1 Derby. We'll be back.
Brandon Schroeder.
And welcome back. Home half of the fifth. We go. Derby leads it 2-1. 9-1 and 2 for the Colts. It'll be Schroeder, Buller, and Warkins scheduled. Andrew Miller out for inning number 5. Gave up a run in the second. Had a little bit of trouble here and there, but able to wiggle out of it. 1-0. Low and away. Oh, man. Ball, no strikes. And he hit him. So Schroeder will wear that one to first base.
The Colts, number 20, Harley Buller.
Top of the order, here's Buller. I keep hearing things. Buller hitless in game 2. He's 0 for 2. And the first one misses low, ball 1. One 0 shows bunt, unable to connect, and it'll be 1-1. One shows bunt and takes one low and away. 2-1. Game has slowed to the speed of government. And that is into left field. Rojas can't see it, so that will fall over his head. And around third is Schroeder. He will score without a play. So one of those twilight base hits for Buller.
Now batting for the Colts,
Rojas
28.
was never able to really pick it up. Right at dusk, the sun is below the horizon. However, the lights haven't completely taken over just yet. So very difficult to pick up the baseball this time of night. Here is the pitcher, Hagen Warkins. And we're tied at 2. And that is into left field for a base hit. Buller around third. He will score without a play. And the Colts lead at 3-2.
Now batting for the Colts, number 10, Jacob Vogelmore.
So Warkins with his second base hit of the evening. That'll bring up Vogelmore. Olmsted out of the dugout, and that will be all for Miller. We will talk about the new guy when we return. We will be right back. And new pitcher for the Panthers, Camden Cooper. He is greeted immediately by Jacob Vogelmore with a base hit through the left side. So second and third now for the Colts. This is Cooper's first experience, from what I can gather from the numbers. Doesn't have any pitching experience this year. He is a senior. Limited experience so far this season. And the first from the Clements in there for a called strike. Second and third, 3-2 now Campus. That is up the middle for a base hit. One run will score. And they are going to hold Vogelmore at third base. Good call with nobody out here in the frame. So Warkins will score, and it's 4-2.
Courtesy runner for Clements is Drake McPherson. And now
McPherson will run for Clements.
Spangler.
So first and third for Eric Spangler. Still nobody out here in the inning. Schroeder started off the inning with a hit by pitch, followed by a double and three singles. And the first one to Spangler in there for a called strike, 0-1. Colts with 3 in this inning, still nobody out. Colts got 1 in the second and now 3 here in the fifth. Shows bunt, popped up, and caught by the pitcher, Cooper. So Spangler unable to get it on the ground.
Now batting for the Colts, number 11, Brody Johnson.
So with 1 out, here's Brody Johnson. 0 for 1, was credited with a sacrifice in the fourth. Runners at the corners. And fastball misses up and in, ball 1. And a lot of nasty movement on that pitch. And a 1-0 swung on and missed. That'll even it up 1-1. Swung on and missed. Pretty good location from Cooper. Got it in on his hands. 1-2 to Johnson. And swung on and missed. Johnson will take a seat. Rough day for Johnson. Did not collect a hit in game 1. 2 out in the inning. Here's Lucas White. Red hot this game, 2 for 2. Singled in the second and the fourth. This will be his first look at Cooper. That's in the dirt, smothered nicely by Horn. Saved a run right there. And took a little off, and White swung through it. One. High and away. 2 balls and a strike. White 0 for 4 in game 1. And that's in there, a strike at the knees, 2-2. Forget our corporate sponsors, Shelter Insurance. See Rachel Janes. That is into right field. Sweat back into his right. He will get it. And that'll do it. Colts will strand a couple, but they get 3 and have taken the lead. They now lead at 4-2. We'll be right back. And welcome back. We go to the 6th. Colts take the lead. They lead at 4-2.
Back to the Panthers. Number 10, Rowan Bowden.
Hagan Warkins out for inning number 6. He will face 5, 6, and 7 of the Panthers. It'll be Bowden, Foster, and Sweat. Here is the designated hitter, Bowden. 0-2 in game 2. First one in the dirt, ball 1. Bowden did collect a base hit in game 1. And a 1-0 catches the outside corner, and it's 1-1. And here's the 1-1. Took a little off. Bouncing ball, and that ate up Wiseman. So a hard turn around first base for Bowden. He will be aboard. That will be an error charge to Wiseman.
Now batting for the Panthers, number 11, Rowan Foster.
So here's Rowan Foster. He's 1 for 2, singled in the 4th. He will step in with nobody out. That's the first error of the ball game for the Colts. Game 2 much less sloppy than game 1 for both clubs. That is into right center. Coming hard is Buller. He will run it down, going to his left. That was a great jump, and there's 1 out.
Now back to the Panthers, number 2.
That'll bring up Lane Sweat. First pitch to him, swung on and missed. He was looking dead red and found it. Couldn't catch up, and it's 0-1. Sweat 1 for 2, singled and stole a base in the 4th. Sweat's been busy in right field tonight. Throw over, he's back in there. Smothered nicely by Vogelmore over there at first base. Oh, 1. And swung on and missed. 0-2. Sweat, a senior, 6 foot, 163 pounder. And the 0-2, just a bit high. Pretty good 0-2 pitch. Even better plate discipline by Sweat. Hard to lay off that pitch up around the letters. 1-2. Off-speed pitch, little flare into right field, coming hard is Spangler. He won't get there. And that will fall for a base hit. So an error and a duck snort.
Now batting for the Panthers, number 15, Calvin Pryor.
And the Panthers have runners at first and second with one out. Here's Calvin Pryor. Hitless today, 0 for 2. Strikeout victims in the second and fourth. Off speed stays up. Ball 1. And the fastball misses low. 2 balls, no strikes. Popped up right side. Spangler coming hard. He will get it. And the throw to third. Looked like he might have had Sweat straying off first base there pretty far. Could have had a chance at him, possibly, but chose to go to third. So everybody stays put. 2 away. And it'll be the shortstop, Ryan Pierce. Actually, that is a pinch hitter. That'll be Ethan Crawford.
Now batting for the Panthers, number 16, Ethan Crawford.
Crawford, a junior, listed as a right-handed pitcher and a catcher, will hit for Pierce. So Olmsted rolling the dice here in the 6th. Two outs, Warkins trying to get out of it. And the first one took a little off, in there for a called strike. And it's 0-1. And the 0-1 in there at the knees. Quickly 0-2 to Crawford. And the 0-2 just fouled away, just got a piece of it. Nasty slider from Warkins. It just seemed to fall right off the table. A 1-2. And a pitch. That is lifted to center field. And Buller on the run to his right, able to run it down, and that'll do it for the Panthers. The threat is diminished. And we go to the bottom of the 6th. 4-2 Campus. We'll be back. And we go to the home half of the sixth. Derby threatens in the top, but Campus able to get out of it. They lead it 4-2. 8, 9, and 1 for the Colts. Wiseman, Schroeder, and Buller. First pitch swinging is Wiseman to the shortstop. Pierce up with it over to first in time. One pitch and one out. Good news for Cooper. He is in his second full inning of work.
Number 1, Camden Schroeder.
One out in the inning. Here's Camden Schroeder. 0 for 1, was hit by a pitch in the fifth and scored. And takes the first one upstairs, ball 1. Don't forget our sponsors, True Value Hardware of Hayesville and Brown's Tire. And a 2-0. Paints the outside corner. It is 2-1. Two one is swung on and missed. Count even 2-2. Two. And in there at the knees. And Schroeder will watch it. And there's 2 away.
Now for the Colts, number 20, Harley Buller.
Top of the order here is Harley Buller. 1 for 3 in this game. Doubled, drove in a run, and scored in the fifth. Colts would like to get a little insurance. First one at the knees, strike 1. Cooper struggled a little bit with command in the fifth, but here in the sixth, he is dialed in. Quickly 0-2 to Buller. And the 0-2 popped up right side. It'll be the second baseman, Foster, will haul it in. And the Colts go quietly in order in the sixth. And we go to the seventh, 4-2 Campus. We'll be back.
Number 1.
And welcome back. We go to the seventh. Colts 3 outs away from a split with the Derby Panthers. Top of the order for the Panthers. It'll be Rojas, Rudy, and Shelton. Jacob Vogelmore now on the mound. Save opportunity for him. Workins will go to first base. And the first pitch Rojas sees is up and out of here. So a solo home run for Rojas, and it's a 1-run ball game. So Rojas picks on the first pitch he sees
Colton Rudy.
and deposits that onto 63rd Street, his second home run of the day. So a 4-3 ball game now. So that'll bring up Colton Rudy. Been a tough out this game. He's 2 for 3. He will step in on the left side. Colts 3 outs away from a split. That is into right field for a base hit. So the tying run now is aboard. That'll bring up Cade Shelton.
Now about for the Panthers, number 5, Cade Sheldon.
Here's Cade Shelton, the center fielder. 0 for 2. Walked and scored. Stole a base in the 5th. Off-speed pitch in there for a called strike. So Vogelmore not fooling anybody just yet. Could really use a nice tailor-made double play ball right here. Off-speed pitch into center field. Bowler going back. It'll get over his head. Around second and around third is Rudy. He will score, and we're tied. Throw goes to third, gets away from Schroeder, and the go-ahead run is across the plate. So Shelton with with an RBI.
Now batting for the Panthers, number 7, Braden.
That will be scored a triple and an error. Coach Flack's out to talk about it. Do a little this day in baseball history, shall we? Let's go back to 1982. The Atlanta Braves defeated the Astros 6-5 in Houston to win their 11th straight game to start the season. So this day in 1982, the Braves won their 11th straight to start the season. This day in baseball history brought to you by hookbats.com. Good wood for good hitters since 2005. Conference over. Here's Braden Horn. Horn 0 for 2 with a walk. Derby now leads at 5-4. That is fisted foul. 0-2. Still nobody out in the inning. Rojas picked on the first pitch he saw and deposited on 63rd Street, followed by a hit, a triple, and an error. And the Panthers have taken the lead. Count remains 0-2 to Braden Horn. Oh-2. Looked like Vogelmore slipped a little bit on his plant foot. That floated outside. 1-2. And a little nubber. And Schroeder going to have to hurry. Throw to first in time. Dug out nicely by Warkins. Nothing has been easy at first base today throwing into this wind. One out in the inning. And with one out, here is Rowan Booten.
Now at bat, number 10, Roman Booten.
pitched the max he can today. He has to pay fight. It's like a certain amount of days until he can pitch again.
Booten hitless. He's 0 for 3. Was credited with an RBI in the first. And he takes the first one in there for a called strike. 5-4 Derby. Little defensive swing. And it's 0-2. And the 0-2. In the dirt. 1-2. And the 1-2's in the dirt. It's now even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 up for Campus. That is bounced to Wiseman. He's up with it. Over to first for out number 2. So 2 out. Here is the second baseman, Rowan Foster. 1 for 3. Hitless in game 1. Actually had 1 hit in game 1. My apologies. 2 outs, nobody on. Grounded to third base. Schroeder up with it. Over to first. And in and out of the glove of Workins. And Foster is aboard. Anything hit in the infield has been anything but routine tonight for the Colts. Here is Lane Sweat, the right fielder. 2 for 3, singled in the 4th and the 6th. And pops one out of play, 0-1. And the 0-1. Up the middle, that'll get down for a base hit. So Sweat continues to be hot. And it's first and second.
Now batting for the Panthers, number 15, Calvin Pryor.
So Calvin Pryor will hit now. He's 0 for 3. First and second, 2 outs. Off-speed pitch in there for a called strike. And the 0-1. Took a little off. Just missed up and away. 1-1. And that's fouled away. Ball and 2 strikes. Through the right side for a base hit. Spangler up with it. And the throw is up the line. And it looks like Foster will score on the play. Over to third base is Sweat. And an RBI single for Pryor. So our new score 6-4 in favor of Derby. So Pierce will hit here in the 7th. And swung on and missed. Strike 1. and the 0-1. And swung at ball one, but it'll be 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Vogelmore trying to get out of it. Swung on and missed, and he got him. And that'll do it for the Twins, but they get 3 and now have the lead 6-4. We'll be back for the bottom of the 7th right after this. And welcome back. We go to the home half of the 7th. Colts with some work to do. They trail the Panthers 6-4. New pitcher on the mound, left-hander Rudy will take over. Jones will go to first base. And Warkins takes the first pitch he sees, deep to left, and caught by Rojas. So Warkins gave it a ride. That's out of every other ballpark in the country except this one.
Now batting for the Colts, number 10, Jacob Vogelmore.
So here's Vogelmore. 1 for 2 with a hit by pitch. Singled in the 5th. So Rudy with a chance for a save here. Not seeing any numbers on him. It's either his first appearance or he's in the witness protection program. One of the two. And in there for a call strike. Rudy loses his hat. And it's 1-1. Into center field, hit well. Shelton back and will run it down near the track. So Vogelmore hit it a ton, but run down by Shelton and 2 away.
Now batting for the Colts, number 17, Grady Clements.
Here's Grady Clements.
They opened up a gap. I mean, we have 2 outs, so.
So Clements takes a strike, and it's 0-1. 1 for 3, singled in the fifth, was credited with an RBI. And that's upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Colts down to their final out. They trail the Panthers 6-4. That is up the middle for a base hit. So Clements keeps the hopes of the Colts alive here in the home half of the seventh. 2-out base hit.
Courtesy running for is Drake McPherson, and now batting Eric Spangler, number 3.
So McPherson will run for Clements, and it'll be up to Eric Spangler to keep things going. Tying run now at the plate. Rudy with a look, and the first one upstairs, ball 1. Spangler was hit by a pitch and scored on a balk in the second inning. Reached on an error in the fourth and flew out in the fifth. And that's fouled away. A nice cut. 1 ball and 1 strike. Our next broadcast will be May the 5th. Newton will be here for a couple starting at 2 o'clock. We'll have them for you. Not sure whether live or recorded. We'll see. 1-1. That is deep to center field. Going hard is Shelton. That'll drop in there. So over to third goes McPherson. And a base hit for Spangler. Runners at the corner. Here is Brody Johnson. So the go-ahead run now at the plate with 2 outs. I'm guessing they're on their feet. If they're not, they should be. And the first one in there for a call strike. Johnson's due. He's 0 for 2. Was credited with a sacrifice in the fourth. Oh, he is due. Bouncing ball, shortstop. Pierce up with it, over to first. Got it. So that's your ball game. Pierce to Jones will end it. Rudy will collect the save.
Final score is 6-4.
And your final score, Derby 6, Campus 4. Derby goes to 9-4 on the season. Colts drop to 5-8. Colts on the road at Mays on Friday. And